Welcome to the podcast. If you have this aching in your gut that something in your life is just stuck, okay? Not moving forward, not moving backwards, it's just kind of simply sitting there. That stinks. Feeling stuck isn't something that we want to feel, but it is a feeling and an experience that all of us go through throughout our lives. Maybe for you, you're thinking about, okay, maybe it's this career that you're stuck in, or maybe it's the relationships that are just not filling you up anymore, or maybe it's financial or spiritual, or you're just feeling like you are stuck in this every day, feels like the same kind of monotonous loop. The good news is this: you're here. You are choosing to at least try to shift things up for yourself and create some movement. So, that right there is your sign that there are at least parts of you that are willing to take action so that stuck is no longer the state that your life is in. So, keep going. This is the second episode in a series of 5 where I'm just walking through exactly, practically, how to get unstuck, because there are too many capable, wonderful people who they're missing out on lives that could be so much more joyful, so much more connected, so much more awake. I know that I want that for my life, and you deserve that for your one wild, precious life too. For me, these episodes are really coming from this place that I've recognized that anytime I felt this stuck feeling in my life, that there was this 5-step process, these 5 courage moves that changed my life and really created that forward momentum that I was desperate for. Courage changes everything. If you haven't had a chance to actually listen to last week's episode where we talked about the first courage step, which is the courage to get still, I just highly recommend that you go back and you listen to it, as it's really going to lay the foundational posture for how you're going to want to look at your current situation and really start just to see this all unfold in your life. I'll also say that if you happen to decide that you're just going to jump into the series from here forward, I know that you're still going to find valuable perspectives and reflections and examples and tools, all of the things that are going to help you start generating some momentum for you to create that change that you really want in your life. So, enough with the introduction stuff. Let's get into today's courage move, which is the courage to tell the truth. Take a deep breath. We are so going there. Remember the time when you were a kid and you broke something at your parents' house? Crash, the vase goes down. And you didn't want to tell them because you knew they were going to be so mad. But you're a good kid. So you finally worked up the courage to tell the truth anyway. Yeah, that's not the kind of truth that we're talking about here. That was easy compared to what it actually takes to sit down with your own life and really tell yourself the truth. For some reason, I think when we talk about truth here, like culturally, we have labeled truth as this heavy, painful thing. Like, why do we have sayings like the cold, hard truth? Like it's something that's sharp or something to like brace for or something that is almost like even better off avoided. But there's another version of truth that I would say is so much more expansive and life giving. And it's truth that I've really hung on to, which is truth is a gift. Truth is beautiful. Truth is light. Truth is pure. Truth is freeing. And if all of those things are indeed fact, then why is it so difficult to tell the truth when we find ourselves stuck in life? And I've landed on this. I really believe it's because the moment that you tell the truth, you come to reality with yourself that something has to change. And that normally means that there's a piece of you that becomes challenged, whether it's ego, pride, your security, your relationships, or just this piece of your life of comfortability. And that comfortability, that thing that makes things predictable, because as humans, we love predictable. And so that becomes challenged. So instead, you start to, very human nature, is you start to negotiate and you start telling yourself things like, you know what? Maybe it's just this project, or maybe I just need a vacation, or maybe I'm just really tired. Here's what I know to be true from my own story is that you will burn so much energy, mental, physical, emotional, like soul energy, trying not to see something that is actually asking for your attention, asking for you to get a little uncomfortable so that you can get out of your comfort zone. So what ends up happening? We keep circling, we keep overthinking, we keep reanalyzing it, we keep working it over and over and over again. And it's not because the answer isn't there, but it's because you're trying to avoid at all costs having to look it dead in the face. And that avoidance and that resistance, okay, that, my friend, that is what makes you feel so exhausted and like stuck spiraling in the stuck loop. Are you following me here? Like you see how this just it's insanity. You see what happens here, like how our brains jump in and what they try to convince us of. And I look at this in my own life, like one of, the more recent pivots for me, it was leaving my thriving corporate career. That was just 2 years ago. And I could tell you, like, I loved my job. I was good at it. And our entire life had gotten very comfortable because of it. And still, something in me, I felt stuck. And when I actually got still, something in me knew that I had outgrown it. But I didn't want to see it. So I fought that truth for months hard. I negotiated with it. I tried to fix it. I asked for different roles, more responsibility, more running, more like money, more like eh, almost like grabbing at straws, like this will make it better. Just so that I didn't have to actually face the internal intuitive truth that I already knew. And I don't know if I say it made it worse or it made it better, but regardless what it was, like I actually got all those things. And I know for a fact they didn't make it better. Like it still didn't change the truth. And the day I think back to the day that I finally said, I know I have to leave my job. And in that moment, like that was it. I did not have a plan. I did not have a timeline. I didn't have clarity on what was next. I didn't have another job to jump to. I didn't have anything other than truth. I just knew that I had to leave my job. And in that moment of truth, it felt like a weight had lifted, like something had been unlocked. And not that it was solved, not that it was figured out, but at least it was unlocked. And that courage to tell the truth just for what it was, it changed everything. So here's your second courage move. It's to tell the truth. Not the version that feels palatable, not the softened one, not the one that makes your ego feel good, but the real one. The one that you keep editing in your head before you actually let yourself fully say it. So I want you to tell the truth, like, and just do it for yourself, no one else. I know that the truth can be confronting. Truth exposes where you're comfortable and where you've chosen to stay stuck. And it'd be so easy to see how truth like costs you something, right? Like truth in our brains, we conjure up these things like the truth is going to cost you approval. A truth is going to cost you a relationship. Truth is going to cost you a job. But remember, there's a cost for that avoidance and that resistance too. I'm thinking of an example right now. I'm thinking about Simone Biles, how back in 2020, yeah, whenever it was the Olympics, where she told the truth and she withdrew from multiple events just saying, hey, I'm not mentally in it. And it like created this whole uproar. That truth cost her approval in the moment, but it bought her alignment that would lead to massive success in both gymnastics and mental health advocacy. Like, and then she would go on and she would win even more. She would win several world championships after that. So I don't know about you. I'm not an Olympian. However, like let's talk about how we actually practically do this for you in your life situation. And this is actually, I will say, what I'm going to suggest to you is actually one of the first courage exercises that we do inside the courage community for the members' courage experiments. So I love this one. So I want you to sit down, or at least think about while you're listening to this. I want you to complete this sentence. I'm going to say this slowly to give you just a little bit of time to just notice what first comes up. But complete this sentence. If I'm being fully honest with myself, and fill in the blank. If I'm being fully honest with myself, and you fill in the blank. And I actually want you to ask it a few times over and over again, back to back, and almost like rapid fire. Just challenge yourself to see how many things. Can you get 10? Like, can you go 10 deep on this? Keep going. If I'm being fully honest with myself, and just let it be. For me, in that moment that I shared about earlier, my if I'm being honest statements, it looks like, if I'm being honest, I know I've outgrown this corporate role. Or if I'm being honest with myself, I know I'm sleeping on my greater potential. Or I notice if I'm being honest with myself, I don't want to do this whole 9 to 5 thing for the rest of my life. Yep, still feels heavy. So for you, while you're answering that question for yourself, if you're being honest with yourself, if I'm being honest with myself, you're thinking about the things that maybe you're pretending are fine, or you're thinking about the things that you know, or maybe you keep talking yourself out of, or maybe where you're negotiating with something that already feels so clear, but you just don't want to see it. And as you do this, what you're doing is you're just creating space. Just creating space for the answers to flow one right after another. You're not trying to solve them. You're not rereading them. You're not trying to create a plan or scratch them out because you think that couldn't possibly be it. Nope. Like, let it pour out of you. Just tell the truth. Just tell the truth and allow it. That's it. Because the goal here in this exact moment, it isn't to actually action it yet. It's purely about acceptance. Like, where in your life are you still pretending things are fine? Have the courage to tell yourself the truth. So today's action takeaway, it's really simple. Say it out loud, write it down, no edits, just this is the truth. And then let yourself sit with it. Because once you tell the truth, you will stop wasting energy avoiding it. And that energy, that's where we're actually going to move you forward in the next episode. Telling the truth is powerful. Don't undercut it. Give yourself the space to do it. I will also say, and I've seen this over and over again, that telling the truth is powerful, but most people don't actually do anything with it. So the cycle, right? We talked about this is like they'll have the realization, they'll have a moment of relief where they're like, whew, man, it feels good just to get that off my chest, to be honest with myself. Maybe even they write it down and then they make the choice to just bury it again underneath all of the busy, 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 busy lives that we live. And then a few days will go by, maybe the week, and then they're right back in their same old patterns. And it's not because they don't care. It's not because they want to stay stuck. It's not because they're not capable. It's not because like doing it's hard work is what I'm going to say. Doing this kind of work alone, it's hard. And so I've seen real change, like real lasting change. It comes from consistent, courageous action. And so that's exactly why I created the Courage Experiment. It's all about having a place where you can practice courage in a supported way with a courage community, like you're doing guided courage challenges and a 1-year commitment to show up in courage to transform your life. That's what it's all about. I'm doing it alongside you too. So like, let's go. Let's go. So if something in this episode, if it hits you, and if you're sitting there and part of you is thinking, oh crap, I can't unsee this thing now. Dang it. If I'm being honest, yep, I know exactly what's wrong. Whew. Then I want you to come take the next step with me and I want you to start your own year of courage right now. So the link is in the show notes. You can always reach out to me with any questions too. All right. Remember, you are on the path to change this thing that's keeping you stuck. And now you know that the courage to tell the truth is going to unlock this for you. Remember, courage changes everything. And until next time, bye. Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode. It means the world to me that you're here to ride in the struggle bus with me and that you're willing to consider different perspectives, tools, and techniques that just might provide a little bit of relief and get you one step closer to the abundance that is available and waiting for us all. I hope you take a moment to grant yourself some grace where you've been denying it, some love where you didn't realize maybe it was right in front of you, and some faith where you thought all was lost. If this episode had an impact on you, would you please share a comment with a review? I'd love to hear what landed for you, and it helps us get the word out to our fellow struggle bus riders. So please review what was impactful for you. Just know these episodes are a pure labor of love in a space where I'm growing alongside you. I'm evolving every day, and I look forward to all the ways and the things and the perspectives and opinions and choices that will change over the course of time in my own life, day to day. Until next time, just know that you are loved, you are divinely cared for, and in the struggle, the journey of this life really is beautiful. I'm glad that we're in it together. Cheers.